President Trump's national security advisor could be in trouble over a phone call he made before he was on the White House payroll. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin has the latest on what the White House says was discussed in that phone call and why Democrats want an investigation.
The White House is walking back a previous denial that prior to the inauguration, the National Security Advisor, former Lieutenant General Mike Flynn, spoke to the Russian ambassador about sanctions imposed by the Obama White House as punishment for Russian interference in the U.S. election. The telephone call in question took place on December 29th, the same day that President Obama struck back at Russia and expelled 35 Russian diplomats. At the time, Flynn told Vice President Mike Pence that he had not spoken about sanctions or the easing of sanctions with Russia's ambassador, Sergei Kislyak. In turn, Vice President Pence denied publicly the Trump team had spoken with the Russian envoy about easing sanctions, which, if true, could have been a violation of the Logan Act, which bars U.S. citizens from interfering with U.S. foreign policy.
I talked to General Flynn yesterday, and the conversations that took place at that time were not in any way related to new U.S. sanctions against Russia or the expulsion of diplomats.
Today, the White House changed its tune about the denial. Flynn, quote, indicated that while he had no recollection of discussing sanctions, he couldn't be certain that the topic never came up. The revised statement came after the Washington Post and multiple news outlets reported the FBI has a transcript of the phone call and that current and former intelligence officials say, according to that transcript, Flynn may have indicated the Trump team would relieve those sanctions once in office.
If they were talking about lifting sanctions, I can tell General Flynn and the Trump administration that there will be a violent reaction in the Congress.
Ranking Democrats on the CIA Oversight Committee have called for the White House to immediately suspend National Security Advisor Flynn and revoke access to classified information until the situation is fully investigated. Sources close to Flynn told me moments ago that he does not remember talking about sanctions with the Russian ambassador. If the conversation about sanctions did occur, Flynn didn't bring it up and made no commitments either way. What concerns them more is this information, which should be classified, is leaking out. Chris?
Jennifer, thank you.